listening to Real Estate Radio on AM 830 KLAA. Now, live in studio, your host, local real estate expert, Ron Siegel.
Good morning, Southern California, and welcome to the Real Estate Radio Network. I am your host, Ron Siegel. Thank you for joining me. I am joined here in the studio this morning with DeAnna Rehnert and Tim Olivadoti.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Good morning, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Glad to have you with us. Tim and DeAnna are agents in the Fountain Valley area with Star Realty. Glad to have you here. Did you have a nice weekend?
Oh, we did, Ron. Thanks a lot. We really had a terrific weekend, and we're really excited about being on the show today.
Glad to
be
you.
Here.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you, even though none of us are going to be celebrating too much here. As we came in, they told us about the Angels and having a little bit of sorrow. The Angels not doing as well as we like this year, but we'll get ready for, I think, Thursday we get to start with a little football, so we can kind of change our direction a little bit. Being a lifelong Angel fan, now I can be my Trojans will be starting to play, so we'll be ready for that one, and we'll get that going this week. As you know, this is a quick reminder, the Real Estate Radio is a program dedicated to teaching you the why and the how-to within Southern California's marketplace. So if you ever have any real estate-related questions, here's the off-air number to call, 800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Just remember, that's the number to call you anytime, and we can direct you with your real estate needs with free advice. Even if you don't have any real estate needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, and I'll personally reach out to you. If I don't know the answer to what you need, I know a whole lot of people here in Southern California, and I'm sure that one of them will have the answer or be able to put you in touch with the right person. As a regular listener to the show, I know you're aware that we go against the grain of the rest of the media to give you real-time, accurate market updates. The rest of the media tends to be inaccurate, outdated, and biased. We are here to get it right so you can make educated decisions about your real estate. It starts with examining what happened this week, and we're going to do a brief market recap this week because I've got so much stuff to go over. It's been really busy in the markets and with things going on out in the marketplace. But our real-time segment is brought to you by Pacific Partners. If you're tired of watching your investments ride a roller coaster and would like safe, double-digit returns, you should speak with my friend John Muratori at Pacific Partners. Just call our off-air number, 1-800-306-1990, and I'll introduce you. Most of this week was really kind of mild as far as numbers and things, and they all went in the same direction. All the numbers tended to give us indications that the economy was heading the wrong direction. Did you guys notice that as well?
Oh, I didn't actually hear any specific projections. We're just kind of concentrating on our real estate, and we're just we're still going in the right direction. We're out there working with the buyers and the sellers all the time.
Well, you guys have it made because you've got real estate on sale, money is on sale, and what really more could you ask for when you're out there trying to sell real estate and help people get their homes?
Exactly, Ron. And this is one of the best times that I can think of in the last few years that we're in right now. Where else can you actually go in, buy a home, and it's built-in equity already with the rates the way they are? It's just phenomenal.
Just have to be patient, and like I always say, is you need to find professionals to work with. This marketplace, there's a lot going on. It's very unique. You guys have seen this before. You're not newbies at this. As I say, this isn't your first rodeo.
That's for sure.
When you're looking at this marketplace, we've seen this before in the early 90s, where real estate had a big roller coaster. I guess in the 70s we saw this. In the early 80s when we had double-digit interest rates.
We hit those cycles every so often, and they just got to ride them out and adapt to them.
It's the thing that I like is when you just have somebody that's a professional. A lot of people nowadays, you didn't have the opportunity in the 70s and 80s to get on the internet and go and search, and a lot of people are taking that as a substitute for professionals. Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, I like it when people go and look at the internet and get some information, but realize when you do that, you may not be getting the accurate information. I mean, I've got some reports here with me this morning. That's why I was going to do a real short market recap showing where in certain areas, the exact same periodical, the Register, one of their writers came out with an article saying that prices were up in July, which was accurate. The problem was they were up over June, which was the worst month in history. So when you get 4% up over the worst month in history, that then made us the second worst month in history. So there was two different articles in the exact same paper that gave us, if you just looked at the headlines and didn't look deeper, you'd really be confused.
So I know whose ass to kick.
So that's why we're here, and we want to make sure that we're giving you straight information and going against all of this. Friday, I'd like to give us, that's basically where I'm going to focus in on with the technicals, is what happened on Friday, because if somebody was just looking at the market Friday morning and looking at the numbers that came out in the market, you would have really expected bond rates to skyrocket. And whenever bond rates skyrocket, there's an inverse or opposite relationship between bonds and interest rates.
That's right.
Now, the bonds are the mortgage-backed securities and the 10-year Treasury are the things that we look at to find out what interest rates are going to do. And every number that went through the market on Friday would have said that bonds should have skyrocketed. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of the recap here. They were on a roller coaster, hitting near record highs at resistance early in the day, only to plunge soon after Ben Bernanke spoke at the Kansas City Fed's annual symposium. Mr. Bernanke stated it is reasonable to expect some pickup in growth in 2011 and subsequent years. Bernanke went on to say that the Fed is already supporting the economic recovery by maintaining an extraordinary accommodative monetary policy using multiple tools. Should further action prove necessary, Bernanke said policy options are available to provide additional stimulus. Also pushing mortgage bonds lower was Fed member James Bullard, saying that the Fed has done all that it can in the mortgage-backed securities market. Now, I follow a combination of 3.5% bonds and the 4% bonds. But the 3.5 closed at 100.28 or par 28, down 59 basis points for the day. Now, that sounds very technical to a lot of people. What that's really saying is the bonds, when they took that dive, the interest rates went up. And we had several repricings through the day. So if somebody was out shopping interest rates in the morning, the rates that we could have offered them, or any mortgage professional could have offered them in the afternoon, was not the same. So it's very important for you to do this shopping and get professional advice and realize that the bonds change as much as the stock market. So if you listen to this station throughout the day, you'll hear some different what the market's doing in some of the commercial breaks. Well, the Dow surged 164 points. The bond market usually goes the opposite way. So on Friday, with the Dow going up, bonds went down, interest rates on Friday went up. My expectation is that we're going to see interest rates go back down again, because other than the comments from the Fed, the two Fed people, there really wasn't a lot of reason for the bonds to jump like that. So it is a good thing to keep an eye on it, but be aware that we don't know how long this current favorable market's going to last. So the key is take a look at what's happening now, get out and get professional advice, and make sure that you know what's going on in the marketplace. Look to the sale real estate, the sale money, because it could be that Monday, if the bonds go up again or down again, and the interest rates go up even further, we could be out of this very favorable market. And I'm telling you right now, we're quoting even on the low end of the marketplace, we're quoting people in the high 3s, low 4s, and again, there's all the disclosures that we'll talk about in a minute, but be aware that you've got to act. You can't sit on the fence right now if you want to be in this marketplace. And we're going to talk with Tim and DeAnna a little bit about people wanting to move back into the Orange County, LA County marketplaces. That's the market update for this week, and next week we do have a number of big numbers coming out. We've got inflation report, the jobless claims report, pending home sales is coming out next week. The big one, though, will be non-farm payrolls, where it's expected that 118,000 people lost their jobs again. That's what the expectations are. But I did see a real interesting quote that came out from Albert Einstein. I just want to repeat that. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity.
Absolutely.
But they neglected one part of that. Opportunity only comes if you take action.
Very, very true.
So that is our market update for this week. You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network with Ron Siegel, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, DeAnna, Tim, and I are going to discuss Southern California real estate market. I'm going to make a case for why we should bring back the tax credit. And we'll be discussing an organization that is doing some great things for our children. Remember to reach me anytime. Call our off-air number, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or realestateradio.com. Stay tuned to the Real Estate Radio Network. We'll be back in just a few.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.com for more info. That's realestateradio.com.
September 11th is our National Day of Service and Remembrance, so please join us at the Ritz-Carlton for Life-Changing Lives, One Nation, One Heart, as we honor our American heroes. Special performances from Taylor Hicks, Catherine McPhee, Julia Fordham, and Paul Reiser. Other surprise guests from stage and screen, sports legends, and cast members of The Sopranos. Proceeds benefit Wounded Warrior Project, Susan G. Komen for the Cure, and Festival of Children. Purchase your tickets at 4lcl.org. That's the number 4lcl.org, and you too can be an American hero.
Are you tired of losing money due to the risk associated with the stock, bond, and real estate markets? Well, there's a new asset class in town that has captured the wisdom of Warren Buffett. According to the Wall Street Journal and CNN Money, Buffett has invested billions into this asset class that offers safety, security, diversification, and superior return potential. For years, the smaller investors have been locked out of this investment. Hi, I'm John Moratori, President of Pacific Partners, Inc., a financial service company, and I would like to ask you a question. If this asset is good enough for Warren Buffett, is it good enough for you? Call us today to set up a free, no-obligation appointment to discuss your finances and an investment solution that can meet your needs. For complete details, call us at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, and tell us you want what Warren has.
Real Estate Radio is hosted by local real estate and finance expert Ron Siegel. The purpose of this show is to help consumers understand what's really going on in our local real estate market. We're teaching you the why and the how-to, so you'll always be one step ahead of everyone else. Whether you need to sell your home for top dollar, refinance and save money, or even buy a bargain in Southern California, Ron Siegel can help. Call Ron directly at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Take advantage of speaking with Ron anytime you're entering a real estate transaction. Having someone who can answer all of your questions that truly cares about you and your family's best interest is priceless. Call Ron Siegel today and you'll be glad you did. 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or you can visit realestateradio.com for more info. It's here, Connell Chevrolet's huge summer event. Have you been to other dealers only to be disappointed by their small inventory? That's not the case at Connell Chevrolet in Costa Mesa, where you still have a family atmosphere along with big discounts and low-rate financing. Connell Chevrolet has been serving the community for over 40 years and has a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles available. Just visit them online at ConnellChevy.com. That's CONNELL Chevy.com. Get summer event savings now at Connell in Costa Mesa. Chevrolet, may the best car win. Have you asked your employer what kind of home mortgage benefits your company offers? Cal Home Benefits has a complete range of home and mortgage benefits, which can save you $5,000 to $10,000 on your living expenses, and the benefit program is completely free to California businesses and groups. If your company or group is not offering home and mortgage benefits, please visit calhomebenefits.com or call 1-800-998-1990. That's 1-800-998-1990. It's free to the organization and can save you thousands. Reverse mortgages are loans against the equity of a senior American's home. With a reverse mortgage, the homeowner can convert their home equity into cash. It also benefits homeowners in many other ways. With most types of the loans, the lender verifies your income and uses that figure to determine the amount you'll be able to pay. You don't have to satisfy the monthly repayments with a reverse mortgage. Homeowners over the age of 62 years may apply for a reverse mortgage, even without any income. For more information about reverse mortgages, just call our off-air number at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. or visit realestatewithron.com and click the free workshop button. You're listening to Real Estate Radio with local expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Radio. I am, of course, I'm Ron Siegel. I'm joined this morning by real estate agents DeAnna Rehnert and Tim Olivadoti of Star Realty.
Hi, Ron.
Good morning.
Okay, as you're aware, well, we got a big audience. Our 7 listeners are really going at it today, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Okay. As you're aware, Real Estate Radio is not only designed to educate, but to entertain Southern California. The best place to start is our real-time story of how we've helped someone. So now we've got to get the legal stuff out of the way. I am a licensed mortgage loan originator, so I do have to give you all the disclaimers. As we discuss rates, remember they will always depend on your qualifications, income, credit scores, ratios, all that good stuff. You should check the annual percentage rate located on the Truth in Lending documents. And in my opinion, more importantly, get a total cost analysis check. And what that really does is that tells you the Ben Franklin's, how many of those bills are going to come out of your pocket, because all those disclosures, when you're talking about loans and real estate, there is tons and tons of lawyers and tons of paperwork. You're going to probably get 50, 60 pages of legalese. In our office, we like to narrow this down to 2 pages before we even get to all that stuff. And that's called a total cost analysis. And it's basically, if you look at the 5-year analysis section of this, it'll show you how much money is coming out of your pocket on a regular basis, on a monthly basis, and over 5 years. And it gives you a little better way of deciding what's the best product for you, because there are a lot of products. So there is no right solution for anyone. I would say that if you go and talk to a mortgage professional and they say, okay, here's your 30-year rate, and this is what it's going to cost you, do you want it? That's probably not the right place for you to be. I would venture to guess there's dozens of programs out there that are good for different people. So this week, we're going to talk about Eileen and her grandpa. Eileen called me to see if she could save some money on her monthly house payment. And after spending some time on the phone, we prepared our total cost analysis. As we discussed, you should compare the APR on various options. But of equal importance, and generally before the Truth in Lending disclosures, is again that total cost analysis. And on Eileen's total cost analysis, let me give you a little background on her scenario. And this is will fit for almost anybody because it wasn't a real high-priced property. So Eileen was looking at a property, and I think she has, it's about little over $200,000 property, and she owes $194,000 on that property. She's paying right now $5.875, which in this environment, if you've got any equity at all, you need to be calling your mortgage professional. If that number before the decimal is not a 3 or a 4, call and get some help. But in Eileen's case, again, it's a loan amount of $194,000. And what we did in our office is we compared for her the 30-year fixed rate plan before and after September 7th. There's a lot of laws going into effect after the 7th of September. The Fed's making some changes again. And I'm not a big one on the government intervention. We've had a few different interventions recently, and each one of them have cost our homeowners money. About a year ago, I guess early 09, we had HVCC, which the effect of that from Attorney General Cuomo, who owned a appraisal management company and then got us all into appraisal management companies throughout the whole country, raised our costs of appraisals by about 30%. Back in the beginning of 2010, we had to come out with a new good faith estimate. We just found out from the Federal Housing Finance Administration that that's raised the cost of good faith estimates by about 30%. We've got a new program coming into effect September 7th. So that's what I did on this one here, is to find out what it would cost Eileen to do this before and after September 7th. And also, we compared a 30-year rate and a 5-year adjustable rate. It's a 30-year program, but it's fixed for the 5 years. So in Eileen's case, we used a 4.5%. She did not have the greatest credit in the world, so we can help people there too. We can also help people that have horrible credit. Eileen did not have horrible credit, but we can help them get ready and get in place. But the 4.5% rate gave her a payment including her mortgage insurance, of $1,379 a month. Going with the 5-year fixed, then adjustable, was at 3.625% interest. This is amazing.
Yeah, that's nice.
Can you imagine? Now, going back to those folks that were in the early 80s and thrilled to get an 18% interest, and now we're talking about a low-priced loan at 3.625 again. Remember the APR numbers we talked about. Was $1,278.90 is her monthly payment on that 5-year. Again, these are before September 7th. Now, we know what has been announced, but as we were told by our House Speaker, I'll replay that for everybody.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
That was the information that came right from the Speaker of the House. But we have a good idea of what's coming out in this, and it's going to raise her payments by about 5%. So just by making that decision now, that's the difference for her. Now let's go to the savings from where she is right now. Remember, we were talking about 5.875. That 30-year fixed rate, if she does that now, is going to save her after all costs $6,073 over 5 years.
Nice.
Now, if we go down to that 3.625, $14,618. Now, what would $14,618 do for the average homeowner over 5 years? Now, my math's a little fuzzy. It's about, a little under $3,000 a year?
Yeah,
Yes.
That's a great savings.
Paying a lot of bills.
Pay a lot of bills. Might be a new car. Somebody that's in the $200,000 home probably can get a car payment for that. Mm-hmm. Go see our friends over at Connell Chevy, Connell Nissan.
There you go.
No, those are a lot of nice things that happen there. So we want you to know, and that's what this total cost analysis tells you. If I were to just say, 3.625 or 4.5, does that really mean anything? I mean, we put it into dollars and cents. Ben Franklin. Yeah. And I always tell people that's the most important number that we want you to think about.
Ron, a lot of people will shop for a dress, shoes, get the price on a lot of different items. But I'll tell you what, a mortgage loan is really, really important, and it's good to get out there and to shop these loans and do a comparison. It really is.
And you have to have someone you can trust also, because a lot of, we found over the years, a lot of lenders will quote you rates that they really don't or can't deliver when you're at the table signing your loan documents. So you have to be very, very careful with that.
And that's the bottom line. I just read this statistic. I think going into 2007, there was about 700,000 loan officers in the United States. Through some of the different things that have gone on between the economy, licensing, and many of us have to be licensed now. Ironically enough, for some reason, if you work at one of the big banks, if someone goes into a big bank and wants to get a loan, they don't have to be licensed, which it seems kind of odd to me, but I guess they just have a bigger lobby in Washington than the mortgage folks do, but they don't have to be licensed. And they also have one product offer. Really, when you think about it, if you go into the big bank on the corner, they're not going to offer you the loan from that might be available from somebody in Washington or somebody in Texas. If you go and talk to an independent mortgage professional, that's the benefit of using us. You can go. We have those rates as well, or a mortgage professional has the rates that the big banks have. But I was just on the phone with a new friend, actually a caller from the show, John. He lives in Bel Air, and he was looking. He's 74 years old, looking at a reverse mortgage, and at his property values, there's just no reverse mortgages. But we were able to go out to another program, and we're talking to John about a program that's, again, remember all the qualifications. But he's in the mid-threes on a multi-million-dollar loan. And the nice part is, he's not going to have to make a payment. How would you like to have that kind of thing? Now, I bet if you go to big bank, they don't have those programs. But back to where we're talking about as far as with what Tim was saying, again, you want a seasoned, full-time real estate professionals, seasoned, licensed, full-time people in the mortgage business. Get your checkup. I kind of laugh a lot when people talk about their mortgage. This kind of goes with what you were saying, DeAnna, is that people don't think about getting their mortgage checkup. We go and talk to our CPA once a year, at least. Our tax man, we have to talk to him once a year. We don't get a choice. Our financial planners, we should be talking to quarterly. Estate planners.
Right.
But most people, their largest asset is their house. Second largest, or their largest liability is their mortgage. But they get it and forget it.
That's right. That's right.
Many times we'll go speak with homeowners and we'll ask them, well, what's your current interest rate? And they just don't even have a clue. They have no idea what their interest rate is. And it's important to know.
And with so many professionals, and what I was starting to get at, there was 700,000. Now we're down to about 170,000 licensed. Yeah. So one of the things I tell people all the time is get a hold of a mortgage professional. Have them do a checkup for you on an annual basis. If your mortgage professional's got out of the business, call our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We'll give you a checkup. It won't cost you a nickel, but at least you'll know where you stand, and that's the most important part of it. So you're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network with Ron Siegel, discussing real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, DeAnna, Tim, and I are going to discuss Southern California real estate. And again, we're going to be discussing an organization that is doing some great things for our children. Remember, for questions or comments about anything we have discussed today, or any questions you might have, you can reach me anytime. Call our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Stay tuned to the Real Estate Radio Network. We'll be back in just a few.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.com for more info. That's realestateradio.com.
Are you tired of losing money due to the risk associated with the stock, bond, and real estate markets? Well, there's a new asset class in town that has captured the wisdom of Warren Buffett. According to the Wall Street Journal and CNN Money, Buffett has invested billions into this asset class that offers safety, security, diversification, and superior return potential. For years, the smaller investors have been locked out of this investment. Hi, I'm John Moratori, President of Pacific Partners, Inc., a financial service company, and I would like to ask you a question. If this asset is good enough for Warren Buffett, is it good enough for you? Call us today to set up a free, no-obligation appointment to discuss your finances and an investment solution that can meet your needs. For complete details, call us at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, and tell us you want what Warren has.
Determining the truth about reverse mortgages is not easy. You need to be educated on the program so that you can make the best decision for your personal situation. Basically, if you get a reverse mortgage, you'll be getting a loan that will allow you to have a monthly income coming in, or a large lump sum at once, or a credit line. You can get any combination of these things as well. If you have an existing loan, it will be paid off, so you will not have a house payment. The monthly income you receive from the reverse mortgage is guaranteed, and you will receive it as long as you remain living in the home. Regardless of the length of your life, your debt can never be more than the worth of your home. For more information about reverse mortgages, just call our off-air number at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit realestateradio.com and click the free workshop button.
September 11th is our National Day of Service and Remembrance, so please join us at the Ritz-Carlton for Life-Changing Lives, One Nation, One Heart, as we honor our American heroes. Special performances from Taylor Hicks, Catherine McPhee, Julia Fordham, and Paul Reiser. Other surprise guests from stage and screen, sports legends, and cast members of The Sopranos. Proceeds benefit Wounded Warrior Project, Susan G. Komen for the Cure, and Festival of Children. Purchase your tickets at 4lcl.org. That's the number 4lcl.org, and you too can be an American hero.
It's here, Connell Chevrolet's huge summer event. Have you been to other dealers only to be disappointed by their small inventory? That's not the case at Connell Chevrolet in Costa Mesa, where you still have a family atmosphere along with big discounts and low rate financing. Connell Chevrolet has been serving the community for over 40 years and has a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles available. Just visit them online at ConnellChevy.com. That's CONNELL Chevy.com. Get summer event savings now at Connell in Costa Mesa. Chevrolet, may the best car win.
Hi, we're here with Ron Siegel, the host of Real Estate Radio. Ron, welcome to the studio. Give us insight as to what your show is all about.
Hi, Eric. Thanks for having me. Thanks for asking me that question. The reason we developed Real Estate Radio is right now there is an abundance of misinformation out there. So Real Estate Radio is a show designed to give Southern California a focal point for their real estate knowledge, as well as a place to go just in case they might need anything real estate related.
So how are you helping people?
That's actually pretty simple. People need advice, so it really doesn't matter who you are. If you have any real estate questions, we're here to help. Whether you're buying a home, selling, you're experiencing a loan modification, short sale, foreclosure, there are a lot of things going on in this marketplace.
How can people get a hold of you?
Real easy. All you have to do is call. The number is 1-800-306-1990. Press option 1.
Interesting times in the market right now. Where do you think the markets are going from here?
That's a great question. All I can say is this. The housing market came down one house at a time, and what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to build it one house, one family at a time. So the best thing that anyone can do is access the free advice that we really want to give you. And to do that, you simply need to call me. The number is 1-800-306-1990, option 1. I'd really love to help.
You're listening to Real Estate Radio with local expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Radio Network. I, of course, am Ron Siegel, and I'm joined today by DeAnna Rehnert and Tim Olivadoti of Star Real Estate. Now, thank you for correcting me. I didn't mean to get the name of the company wrong, but Star Real Estate. Talk to Tim and DeAnna. They're in the Fountain Valley office there. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
Well, right now what we want to talk about is the tax credit. And I'm not a big person on government intervention, but I do like a little bit of when the government stimulates people to do the right thing on their own through the private sector. I'm not real big on all of the government programs. I think that beyond our military men and women, there's the government gets in the way of a lot. But the military men and women, we all owe them a big debt of thanks and gratitude.
Absolutely.
But a lot of the other things that the government gets involved, I think that they really kind of just hamper what the private sector is going to do. So what I looked at was the tax credit. And this is the home buyer and move-up buyer tax credit that expired a few months ago. And one of the things that was with that, people think about it, was $8,000, this last one, $8,000 for the first-time home buyer, and $6,500 for the move-up buyer. And I don't know how you decide why somebody that's maybe right-sizing, getting a smaller property, I don't know why that doesn't behoove them, but they called it first-time and move-up, but that was the definition. So I looked at it, and I really wanted to know what was the truth about this, and we're going to look at some of the numbers.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
So when you look at the numbers, Tim, DeAnna, would you guys say that if I compared our numbers on a $400,000 house, LA County, Orange County, Northern San Diego, which is basically our listening audience in the Empire, $400,000, would that be a fair number to use?
Yeah.
Yes.
For property?
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, so if we take $400,000 and we have an $8,000 tax credit. Now let's work out what these numbers really mean. If you take that $400,000 and let's just use hypothetical real estate commission 5%. We're looking at $20,000 right there. Mortgage company compensation 3.5% on that $400,000, say $14,000. Homeowners insurance premiums, appraisal fees, credit reports, settlement company fees, home inspections, all those other good things, $3,500. Non-HUD 1 expenses, attorneys, moving companies, all of that, another $2,500. Now we say that 1 out of every 6 home buyers, and this is not scientific, we could have polled our 7 listeners, but we didn't. But 1 in 6 buyers spend, say, $12,000 in home improvements. Say that's fair, 1 out of 6 maybe?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's an average of $2,000 a home if we were to take that. Put all of those numbers together, and now let's say 80% of those figures become payroll taxes or get into payroll expenses. Mm-hmm. And now let's use 25% as the tax rate, which is a fairly modest tax rate, especially if you live in California where we tend to get taxed a little more than the norm in the country. But do all the math on that, and it says that $8,400 is being collected just in those taxes. So if the government gives away $8,000 to get $8,400, how many people will make that trade, and how often do you want to make that trade? So really, I think that gives you, now that doesn't even take into account sales tax, because people when they make money, they're going to go out and spend, and then you're going to have the restaurants and clothing, all those other people are going to be making the trickle-down effect. So our economy is really driven by real estate. Is that a fair?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
So that's my take on bringing back the tax credit and doing it sooner than later. What do you guys think? Tell me where I might be wrong.
No, actually, you're absolutely right. And this last tax credit stimulated so many home sales, and that's what we need also in our economy right now. We need to actually stimulate it. But we have buyers in the market right now that are able to jump in at a time that they missed before. This is their time, and it's still a little bit difficult for them to qualify and to actually afford homes in Orange County. So this is a great time for them to bring the tax credit back in and really do a lot to stimulate this real estate market and help our economy.
It was just the talk of everything.
Yeah.
While that tax credit was on, every buyer, every other agent, we've got to close by a certain time so we can get the tax credit.
Yeah.
We had to make sure that we were, met the cutoff dates and the close of escrow dates, and it was a big deal. It was a very big deal.
Well, it sounds like based on that would then also add into consumer confidence.
Absolutely. And so we've seen a little bit of a drop since the credit is no longer available, and it would be a great opportunity now to bring that back in, and I'm hoping that our government will go ahead and do that.
I've been a big one that I've constantly believed that a lot of the media creates a lot of these different recessions, the upturns, the downturns, the bubbles, the bursts. And I think that if we did get something like this tax credit, that we can get people excited. You hear a lot of people that are, we hear every day about unemployment, and, one number says that we're at 9.5, 9.8. Then you hear about the people that are dropping out. I think if we can try and stimulate excitement, and that's what that tax credit, I think, would help do. And I know we've talked in your office when I've been there about people coming back into Orange County. They felt they got pushed out. They couldn't sell. They couldn't. If they sold, they couldn't ever do anything again. I think that might help some of those people.
Yeah, Ron, that's really a good point, because right now everything is in place. The low interest rates, the prices, the inventory. And one thing that I want to bring into mind is that not only are the prices good, but the conditions of the houses are good, because a lot of people, based on the situation, their current situation, have had to leave. So these houses are in, a lot of them are in good condition. Interest rates are down, prices are right, but we do need that excitement. We need to get these buyers back in the market, and so I think that's one of the things that will help. The conditions are right, but we need that little bit of a push.
I think that would help create the perfect storm with the prices down and the interest rates.
Exactly.
I can't even believe how low they are. I never thought I'd see this in my real estate career, and I've been doing this for almost 30 years. It's amazing.
Right.
And just I think that that stimulus would just push a lot of other buyers over the edge to buy. It's unbelievable.
Well, something. It's this is a nice time, being that we're all talking about this, and I would highly recommend people get involved. We've got an opportunity in November to really speak or vote the way we really feel, and I'm a big believer in making sure that you get out and vote. I've taught my kids since they were young. They sometimes get tired of me watching politics and watching the news. But I believe there's a lot of young men and women who have given their lives and are out battling right now so that we have the right to vote. And I have my own political preferences, but to me it really doesn't matter as long as you make an educated vote and find the person that really is out there to push this real estate market, because I believe that's where this is all going to start. When our economy turns around, I think it's going to be two different issues. Number one, it's going to be the government getting out of people's way, and the real estate market where people are excited. I mean, can you imagine what kind of excitement it would be to have a new house for Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever your preference is?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And, that's what people want. But we, like you're saying, Ron, we really need people to get out there and vote and put the right people in office that are going to give us what we need. Make sure you're aware, because this is a chance to really turn things around for a lot of people.
Well, like Tim said, it's the best time in our lifetimes. I mean, Tim's been doing this longer than I have, but and you've seen an awful lot. I've seen a lot since I got started watching and learning from my mom in the 70s. And whoever dreamt, I mean, we always kid our parents about the 15-cent movies and the nickel loaf of bread. Mm-hmm. But I don't think our parents even had 3% interest rates or in the threes. I mean, those are just crazy numbers, and people need to really realize that. Get your kids out there. If you have equity, I would highly recommend seeing what you can do. I mean, we've talked to people about reverse mortgages even. I've seen some folks actually taking reverse mortgages, pulling some money out of their property so they can go and get their kids in the marketplace and maybe even get your kids into a house close to you.
Yeah, I really, the way things are right now, it's anybody that can afford a house, I can't believe they wouldn't buy one right now. A townhome, home, whatever. Right. It's just a great time to buy.
Right, and Ron, you alluded to it earlier, and I keep bringing it up too because so many home buyers were forced out of Orange County, and now this is the perfect time to get back into Orange County. It's wonderful, it's great, and it's an opportunity that you shouldn't pass up if you can do it.
And the beauty of that is getting back to Orange County, or moving into LA County, moving closer to work. So it's all about quality of life.
Yes.
Well, that's the bottom line, is if you can move closer to work and spend a little less time on those freeways, I think that you'll really enjoy your life. I've been blessed. I'm not sure I've ever worked more. Well, I did for a couple of years, but mostly I work within like 6 or 7 miles of my house. I can be with my kids, my wife, in a real short period of time. You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network with Ron Siegel, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we'll be discussing an organization that is doing some great things for our children. Remember to reach me or Tim or DeAnna. Call me anytime at our off-air number, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or realestateradio.com. Stay tuned to the Real Estate Radio Network. We'll be back in just a few.
Then she sends the kids to school, sees them up with a smoke kiss. She's the one they're going to...
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.com for more info. That's realestateradio.com.
Reverse mortgages are loans against the equity of a senior American's home. With a reverse mortgage, the homeowner can convert their home equity into cash. It also benefits homeowners in many other ways. With most types of loans, the lender verifies your income and uses that income to determine the amount you'll be able to pay. You don't have to satisfy the monthly repayments with a reverse mortgage. Homeowners over the age of 62 years may apply for a reverse mortgage even without any income. For more information about reverse mortgages, just call our off-air number at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit realestateradio.com and click the free workshop button.
Have you asked your employer what kind of home mortgage benefits your company offers? Cal Home Benefits has a complete range of home and mortgage benefits, which can save you $5,000 to $10,000 on your living expenses, and the benefit program is completely free to California businesses and groups. If your company or group is not offering home and mortgage benefits, please visit calhomebenefits.com or call 1-800-998-1990. That's 1-800-998-1990. It's free to the organization and can save you thousands.
Are you tired of losing money due to the risk associated with the stock, bond, and real estate markets? Well, there's a new asset class in town that has captured the wisdom of Warren Buffett. According to the Wall Street Journal and CNN Money, Buffett has invested billions into this asset class that offers safety, security, diversification, and superior return potential. For years, the smaller investors have been locked out of this investment. Hi, I'm John Moratori, President of Pacific Partners, Inc., a financial service company, and I would like to ask you a question. If this asset is good enough for Warren Buffett, is it good enough for you? Call us today to set up a free, no-obligation appointment to discuss your finances and an investment solution that can meet your needs. For complete details, call us at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, and tell us you want what Warren has.
Real Estate Radio is hosted by local real estate and finance expert Ron Siegel. The purpose of this show is to help consumers understand what's really going on in our local real estate market. We're teaching you the why and the how-to, so you'll always be one step ahead of everyone else. Whether you need to sell your home for top dollar, refinance and save money, or even buy a bargain in Southern California, Ron Siegel can help. Call Ron directly at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Take advantage of speaking with Ron anytime you're entering a real estate transaction. Having someone who can answer all of your questions that truly cares about you and your family's best interest is priceless. Call Ron Siegel today and you'll be glad you did. 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or you can visit realestateradio.com for more info.
September 11th is our National Day of Service and Remembrance, so please join us at the Ritz-Carlton for Life-Changing Lives, One Nation, One Heart, as we honor our American heroes. Special performances from Taylor Hicks, Catherine McPhee, Julia Fordham, and Paul Reiser. Other surprise guests from stage and screen, sports legends, and cast members of The Sopranos. Proceeds benefit Wounded Warrior Project, Susan G. Komen for the Cure, and Festival of Children. Purchase your tickets at 4lcl.org. That's the number 4lcl.org, and you too can be an American hero.
It's here, Connell Chevrolet's huge summer event. Have you been to other dealers only to be disappointed by their small inventory? That's not the case at Connell Chevrolet in Costa Mesa, where you still have a family atmosphere along with big discounts and low-rate financing. Connell Chevrolet has been serving the community for over 40 years and has a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles available. Just visit them online at ConnellChevy.com. That's CONNELL Chevy.com. Get summer event savings now at Connell in Costa Mesa. Chevrolet, may the best car win. This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.com for more info. That's realestateradio.com.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Radio Network. I, of course, am Ron Siegel with real estate agents DeAnna Rehnert and Tim Olivadoti of Star Real Estate. Getting it right this time. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Ron.
Welcome back.
We're now also joined by Howard Spector. Welcome, Howard.
Hello. Hi, glad to be with you.
Thanks for joining us. Remember, for any questions or if you want me to put you in touch with Tim or Deanna or now Howard as well, please call me anytime at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or realestateradio.com. The community segment is being brought to you by CalHomeBenefits.com. If your company or organization is not giving you home and mortgage benefits, ask your HR director why. CalHomeBenefits.com, free to your employer and could save you thousands on your home and real estate needs. It's well documented that all real estate is local, so in keeping with our local concept in the community segment, the Real Estate Radio Network wants to spend some time introducing our audience to organizations in the community that are helping others. If you have an organization that you'd like to discuss in this segment, please give me a call. This morning we're being joined by Howard Spector. Howard is the Executive Director of PS Arts. He's been involved in the arts and arts education as a visual artist and administrator for over 30 years. Prior to coming to PS Arts, he served as a Director of Education at the Arts and Humanities Council of Montgomery County, Maryland. I'm looking at this your resume here, Howard, and it's quite impressive, and you're doing a lot of stuff that's great for the kids. We really appreciate that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about PS Arts?
Sure, I'd be happy to. PS Arts was founded in 1991. We're serving our now 20th year, and it grew out of the Crossroads School Foundation in Santa Monica with support from the musician and philanthropist Herb Alpert in response to the systematic elimination of arts education in California schools. In 2003, we became our own nonprofit, and since our inception, PS Arts has grown from serving one school in Los Angeles to 25 socioeconomically disadvantaged schools across LA County and the Central Valley of California. Our mission is to improve the lives of children by bringing arts education to underserved public schools and their communities.
That's an amazing concept. I know I've watched here in Orange County where my kids went to school or are going to school, and it's really been quite a disappointment in what they're doing for what some of the school districts, because of budget cuts, are doing with the kids in the arts. And some of these things that were so important to us as we grew up, they're just gone.
Yes.
So it's really nice to see that there's an organization out there looking out for the kids. Again, kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier. It's the private sector again doing what's right for the citizens in the community, and we're really grateful that you guys are out there doing this, Howard.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
So what is it that you're teaching the kids in these various schools? Is it music or drawing, or tell us what they're getting, what the benefit is to the kids?
So we teach all of the disciplines: music, dance, theater, and visual arts. And our goal is we have a unique program in providing arts education to the students. I'll give you some examples of that. For instance, our instruction in the arts is scheduled for the entire school year. It's also during the school day along with the other core subjects, so it's not just an enrichment add-on. It serves, when we go into a school, it serves the entire population of the kids. Usually we have a long-standing relationship with our school partners and our teaching artists, which keeps the program consistent and stable from year to year, which is very important for the kids. Our instruction is provided by professional practicing artists. They work closely with the classroom teachers and school administrators to support the core academic curriculum. We offer professional development for the classroom teachers about how to integrate the arts into the teaching of other core subjects as well.
So maybe one of the kids will be on the Emmys, 10 years from now. Can we? That might be a possibility, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. We think it's important for kids in their future success, beyond school, to have the arts as part of a holistic education.
Great to have the kids dreaming. That's what I always look at is, let them out there dreaming that, this can be them. It's not someone else that's going to be doing those things. So how can we as a community help out PS Arts so they can help the kids?
Well, our program really relies on the generosity of many people. We raise our support from corporate sponsors, from foundations, from government, special events, and most importantly, from individuals. We provide the programs that we do in the schools either for free or for a very nominal fee. So we rely on contributions from individuals and people. And they can certainly contribute on our website, which is www.psarts.org. We also have a Facebook and Twitter account, so you can follow us on Facebook. And we're also looking and interested in people who are involved in arts education, who want to get involved with our organization. If you go to our website, there's much more information that we can cover right here in this show, but there's a lot more details. You can sign up for our email list there, and people can get involved. We're happy to provide information, or they could just call the office and talk to someone at the office, and we'd be happy to engage people in conversation about what they can do to help.
I know I looked at the website after we spoke early throughout the week, and it's quite an impressive website. It really gave me the chills just because I'm in that, maybe not in that demographic completely, but I do have 3 kids who have all gone through, 2 of are out of school or in college now. And having gone through public schools myself, I was really, fortunate, having these things in the school. But I look at it and you wonder, where is this going to come from? Are these things going to just go by the wayside?
It's kind of scary. I think it's really important. It's the kids.
Yeah.
Well, we're finding, with all the state budget cuts in California, with all the economic crisis that's sort of facing the state, 50% of the California budget is education. So when they say budget cuts in the state, that means they're going to cut education. And what we found historically has been that the arts have not been as valued as other subjects, so the arts get cut disproportionately, and we're trying to go in there and sort of restore that work and make sure that the kids have opportunities to do that.
Very, very important, and we, on behalf of the community here, on our list, our 7 listeners, I certainly want to thank you for what you're doing. I want to remind everybody, please go to the website for PS Arts, www.psarts.org. I noticed that there's a donate button there. Push it. Be as generous as you can. I think if we can get, I always say 100% participation. All 7 of our listeners go and donate even $1. Boy, what an amazing thing. I know there's some that can do more, some can't do that much, but just give a little, help the kids a lot. And we appreciate it, Howard. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. So that was a great show today. Thank you to our guests, DeAnna Rehnert, Tim Olivadoti of Star Real Estate. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank
we
you,
do
Ron.
appreciate being here.
Great being here. I
Thanks
love
to
it.
Howard Spector of PS Arts for enlightening us about a great organization doing special things for the children in our community. Also, thank you to all of our sponsors, and of course, a special thanks to our 7 listeners for spending a little bit of your morning with us. That's all for the Real Estate Radio Network. I am your host, Ron Siegel. Again, if you have any questions, call me anytime, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or realestateradio.com. Have a great week, SoCal.
Father gets up late for